What is up, DioZ fans? DioZ here, and today we're ranking all 8 Wings of Fire books that I have read. Okay, guys, so timestamps are in the descriptions. If they're not, that means I'm still working on them. But let's get on with the announcements. We have passed 160 views. I am not joking. The moment before I recorded this, my Wings of Fire headcanons just hit 160 views. Like in the last video, I was hyping that it hit a 50, and I was like, wow, that was a good peak. It was not even the peak, it's still gaining views, which is so awesome. I've never got a video that had not peaked above 50 views. A video that I've released in one of my older channels peaked at 56 views, and I thought that was amazing, but 160 in gaining? Oh my god. That is so cool. As much support to Glade the Mudwing. Actually, Glade, I know you're watching this video. I want to do a collab. You've been hinting at a collab. I wanted to do a collab, so let's do a collab. Most definitely a Wings of Fire one. So yeah. Okay, but guys, now let's move on to the Wings of Fire ranking. Coming in at the last spot, sadly, is the Dragon and Destiny. Okay, so the Dragon and Destiny is decent, but there is too much on certain scenes, especially on the introduction. So they do a decent job on the introduction, which is fine. Now, what I don't understand is that they have to do this whole play of, oh no, Oasis died. It's cool play, but the fact is that unless like you're reading these books like me, where you read the first book, you read all the books after they've been released, you're gonna have to wait a year or so, probably months, till the next book releases, and by that time you're gonna forget what this book is. So after you finish the Dragon and Destiny, you're not gonna forget. So when the payoff comes at book 5, you literally have to read the first 4 books, otherwise the book 5 is going to be very confusing slightly. But just not that, but they also focus too much on the escaping scene, and then they focus a lot on the Skywing Arena, and then for the actual Mudwing part of the Mudwing based first book, they do nothing. They literally do nothing. And the fact is that Tweety did actually sort of fix this with some of the other tribes. Like, we got the whole tribe explained in every singular other book 2 to 5, the whole tribe was explained. Book 1, nothing. Now, some of these things were like truly fixed. Like, in book 7, it also had some tribal issues where they didn't explore the tribe. Book 14 came out, and this was a reason that they added some books. Obviously, book 5 explained the tribe, so book 10 went more on the main character. They fixed with other tribal books, but the Mudwings only had 1 book, and that's it. Obviously, the new guide to the Dragon World releasing, which explores the whole tribes, which is amazing. But yeah, that's my main issue with the Dragon and Destiny. Not much about Mudwings, and I thought they were really cool, especially Glade the Mudwing. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna give the Dragon of Destiny 4 out of 10. Coming in at number 7, we got The Dark Secret. Probably one of the most basic opinions, but I don't find The Dark Secret as bad as other people do. They say that this book is like very low, and then you get to the next book. No, these books are equally as bad. The Dark Secret isn't like horrible, but there are definitely some problems. And there's 3 Nightwing centered books, which is especially nice because Nightwings are my favorite tribe. Amazing. But The Dark Secret was by far the worst out of all 3 books. All 3 of them are ranked in this, actually. But they focus too much on the Nightwings in this book. Basically, there's this thing in the first 5 prophecy books, the Dragon of Prophecy books, where you need to balance the DoD and basically the Dragons of Destiny, and you also need to balance the tribe. So you need to give that equal tribe introduction, like popping out what's the good about this tribe, while also following that tribe introduction, while also following a similar story by making all 5 of your DoD work with that tribe. And the Dark Secret completely fails at this point, which is why I don't like it. They focus only on Starflight. I get it. They need focused books. But they can also still keep other people than just completely isolating Starflight. I like how they try to go for just the small reboot idea where they just change every character. Clay's not here anymore. No one's here. It's a new Night Kingdom. Starflight's trapped, so you gotta deal with the new people. And that's the whole reason. The fake Dragonets of Destiny are a sort of rebooted Dragonets of Destiny. And obviously you can see how much they fail in contrast to this. And I don't know if this was done on purpose to make us love the other books more, but honestly, I just don't like it for that singular reason. But that singular reason just drops the whole book for me. Just trying to change the story arc by having new Dragonets of Destiny with Starflight still as the centered character, it just doesn't work. The finale was really cool, though the stakes were really high in the end. But other than that, the book was just really, really boring because they were just standing there like sitting ducks. Starflight didn't get too much information. He was like slowly gaining them. And yeah. Anyway, yeah. So Dark Secret didn't do as well, so it only gets a 4.5 out of 10. Next we got The Lost Heir. Wow. So The Lost Heir used to be my favorite book, but it's going down a lot. So obviously it's taking the 6th spot out of 8 books, which is not good. But overall, they focus way too much on part 2. Like, where I'm recording here, it's pretty far, but I have access to all my WoW books. I can literally see, like, part 1 has 60 specific pages, then part 2, let's go, part 3 has 60 more pages, so there's 300 pages, 60 pages for the part 1, 60 pages for the part 2, so that's 120. 60 pages for, 180 pages, I'm not even kidding, are just given to part 2, and it's all about the Sea Kingdom. The reason that I like this more is that they tried to at least add the DoD more. The DoD balance is one of the main reasons that all the first books fall off, and the reason that the second books are slightly better for me. Story-wise, they do an amazing job, but the balancing of characters is what normally drops the book. They focus too much on the story, not giving enough light to the characters to shine. Except the main character, they always make the main character shine too much. And this is the main reason that I like the second arc more, because there's more to love than just the main character. Now, the problem with this book especially is because the second part where they explore the whole Sea Kingdom, it is explored way too much, and I'm happy that they were at least able to get the DoD for almost all the final act. Amazing idea. But still, we spend a good chunk of just Tsunami alone, which is similar to Starflight, but they tried to do more with the DoD here, or at least they did do more with the DoD before, basically by giving them a whole detective case in the graphic novel, and also giving them the detective case, and also giving them dinner and everything. So yeah, that's amazing. But still, that doesn't fight for all the mistakes they did. It had an amazing start, amazing finish. The middle was where it really fell off for me, so it only gets a 5.5. Coming in at number 5, we got The Brightest Night. So similar to literally the top 4 lowest rated books, like half the whole ranking. The lower 4 are all DoD books which are not good. I like them, but they have big problems. But it is The Brightest Night. Okay, so The Brightest Night, basically, it does the same mistake that The Lost Heir and The Dark Secret does. Basically, but they actually fixed this much more lightly. Because where we got The Lost Heir, they basically only focused on a single element of the Sea Kingdom, that is Tsunami, the lost princess. Every time she's a lost princess, she's learning with an enemy, she likes Riptide, and there's Coral. Simple idea. For Starflight, he's trapped. Morosir is sort of his mentor currently, he has a crab father who is exactly like him. He doesn't want to be like him. And 5 friends that are sort of trying to replace him, with one of them having a crush on him, who is exactly like him, but just a Nightwing. Similarly. Now, this is a clear idea of that. But with The Brightest Night, where I see the difference and the reason that it normally came to my first spot is because it actually tries to do this very well. They give more reason. Like, they actually give you suspense. Like Starflight's father. They build up this insane suspense. I'm talking like they just put suspense on his father. Starflight's gonna meet his father. And then he's just a nerd. That's not payoff. That's just called bad writing in my idea. Some people call it very good writing because they just give you the suspense for it not to be worth something, worth nothing, which is fine by some people, but I just call it useless writing. Just don't give him suspense. And with The Lost Heir, the biggest problem was that they gave like this huge. They didn't even give the suspense. In the first prologue, they literally explained how there was the Lost Princess and how they were like. The whole book title literally says The Lost Heir, showing Tsunami. So there's basically no suspense. So when she's revealed to be the missing princess, we're just like, oh yeah, that's true. I was mind blown by it. And then with the Dragonet Destiny, literally, like Clay has this family hype the whole time just to it be ruined like Starflight. Now that you understand that, let's go over Sunny's one. Sunny's idea is much better. She's expected to be like the other characters, but she's more submissive. But she gets the complete opposite parent, which is fine. Thorn was honestly a great mom character for Sunny Sue, because the reveal was actually pretty fun. You didn't actually probably know that she was her mom. There might be hints, but there were even barely hints at it. The only true hint you got was how Dune was a wanted criminal. That was great. And then you got more suspense. Sunny's an actual Nightwing Sandwing build. She's a Nightwing Sandwing crossbreed, which is cool by the first fact, but it is really cool too. So yeah. And this honestly is the main reason that I truly do think this book is better. The payoff is good. Obviously, they did do some bullcrap, a little bit of bullcrap. But other than that, the whole book actually does a decent payoff to just not the Sandwings, but also the DoD. The DoD isn't perfectly balanced, but they're the most balanced out of most books here. Out of these 4 books, this is the most balanced one. So yeah. So overall, The Brightest Night did an amazing job. But there are some small elements of improvements that it needs. But overall, it gets a 6 out of 10. So taking our 4th place, we got Winter Turning. Okay, so the reason Winter Turning is in the category of focus too much on one thing than the other thing, but it was the only one to actually truly work this out. It focused too much on the characters and less on the Ice Kingdom. Now, this could have been bad, but the truth is, they got only one part for the Ice Kingdom, but that was all we needed. That's the truth. And the fact is, the characters are awesome. See, normally, you don't truly do love the other characters as much as the main character in the book. But with this, you fall in love with literally every character. You like Kinkajou, you like Moon. You especially should love Kibli in Winter Turning, because he's just so funny, especially the part where he goes, this hottie trotty is unacceptable in the Ice Kingdom, when Moon and Kinkajou are flying. That just made me crack up. So yeah, I love Kibli, which is funny because this is Winter's book, and Winter is still lovable because you see that he's truly just an inner big softie, which is a good part. So yeah, I know I'm like sort of ranting, but this book is really good, and you probably know most of this because I did a full review on this video. Go check it out. But yeah, and the reason I also give a justification why this was done like this. There was literally no suspense, but the suspense was built in the correct time. Literally, Hailstorm was the whole suspense, so to be this actually big reveal makes sense. And then you got this whole sub-arc of Hailstorm and Pyrite, which is one of the best sub-arcs. Kinkajou gets beat up, that's fine. Actually, that's not fine, but you get what I'm trying to say. Winter Turning fits all the pieces perfectly, but they just have a couple of pieces fall off. They do focus slightly too much on possibility, but I get why they did this. We didn't need a second Pyrite arc, because Pyrite Chapter 2 for winter because it barely meant anything. And obviously, the Diamond Trial was amazing. I really loved how they saved Full Slayer. So overall, it gets a 7 out of 10. Book 7 got a 7 out of 10. But moving into our top 3, we got Moon Rising. Moon Rising. Oh my god, I'm amazed how I never reviewed this book on channel. This was the moment I started reading this book is when the channel fell off the first time in April. If you checked after April, I only started posting in September, in August, but the moment I finished reading Moon Rising, the channel had fallen off so much that I stopped making content. So I wasn't able to properly review this book, so it's going to be slightly longer in here. But wow, they were finally able to make an amazing book. They finally show us the characters from the insides because Moon can read the brain, which is just awesome power already. But it's Moon. Moon's a shy person. You especially grow to love Kinkajou, you grow to love Qibli, you grow to love Vinter. All these characters are now 10 times more increased because you not just see them on the outside, but you also see them on the inside. And sure, we accept Kinkajou, we get the others, but it's still so amazing that we get to see these. And I honestly do love Moon Rising because it is a great story. They have the Jade Mountain be the main setting and the only setting, which is fine by me. So yeah. And overall, Moon Rising is just one of the best books I've read. And overall, it gets an 8 out of 10. So that wasn't low, but still. Taking our runner-up spot, we got The Hidden Kingdom. This is one of my favorite books. I am not joking when I say this is my favorite books. This is, as you can know, 4 of the 8 books are in the lowest of the low. Well, there's one book that ended up taking runner-up, which is The Hidden Kingdom. Because I don't know why not a lot of people like this, but The Hidden Kingdom does almost a perfect balance of everything. They have 100 pages each, almost 100 pages each for each part. So they have a balance because there's 300 pages, so they have 100 for each. Already cool. But they also have so that you both get a Rainwing trial, including the DoD, but also you have the DoD just explore. You have the Rainwing, the Rainforest, the whole about the Rainforest, the whole about the DoD, and the whole about Glory becoming queen. All of these were an amazing plus point for me, and I truly do love this book. I think this is better than The Brightest Night, better than the whole Dragon Knight Prophecy. Glory is one of the greatest characters. We get introduced to Deathbringer. Glorybringers bring up, and it's my favorite ship currently. So yeah, overall, this book is really good. So it gets an 8.5 out of 10. I know not amazing, not higher, but it's still amazing. So, but winning by what seems to be slightly a landslide is Legends Darkstalker. I mean, you probably guess it, because this book the book review that I did on this got 46 views, and I rated this the same rating because I just cannot stop. This was the book that took the Hidden Kingdom's elements and added them to one of my favorite characters. He's my second favorite character. Qibli's number 1, Darkstalker's number 2. Yeah, it finally changed. But still, oh my god, Darkstalker has done so well in this whole thing. I mean, amazing characters. They were able to do you know how they do a reboot and half the time it's bad, half the time it's better? This was one of those times where they changed the whole story writing, and it works. They put not one, but technically they only put Darkstalker in the cover, but this whole book is about Fathom, Clearsight, and Darkstalker because they get their own individual chapters, and the story follows with each of their perspectives. So basically, Darkstalker's perspective is on that scene, and when that scene ends, we continue that same scene with Clearsight's perspective, and that's a awesome idea that actually works. This is so cool. The only reason that this book doesn't get a 10 out of 10 is because Fathom is barely explored. He's explored a lot, but some of his chapters were mainly devoted to Clear Stalker. I'm not truly fine with that because Fathom is one of my favorite characters too. I love all of these characters. Darkstalker just such an amazing job on this. So obviously it's get the first crown with a 9.5 out of 10. But guys, that's the end of this video. Tell me your ratings in the description, in the comments down below. Glade the Mudwing, thank you, and I'm hoping that we can collab. But that's Diozy going out.